Hey guys, so I'm going to make this video quick because I am sick and I don't want to cough all over the place. So, why you shouldn't work at retail. Now, there are many different types of retail. There's clothing retail, there is um, other retail such as like if you're going to a Walmart or a Target, there's building materials retail. I personally worked in an office retail space, and it was right down the street. They had an opening, so I decided to apply. And soon after I applied, I got a response back from the manager at the time. We'll just call him Bill. So Bill calls me back. He says, "Hey, we have an opening spot. Come on down next week." I say, "Okay, awesome." And I get there, and the first week goes by fine. It's mostly just on the job training, pretty much everybody's pretty nice to me, everything like that. Everything's hunky dory. Now, come a couple more weeks down the road, I started to notice things changing. We Our store closes at 9 p.m. Now, I am there. I'm supposed to be on the clock at the latest till 9:30 for closing. At the latest, I'm finishing my 8-hour shift. In my state where I live personally, they cannot legally hold me any longer than an 8-hour shift, and I cannot get any repercussions for leaving after an 8-hour shift. So after a little bit of time, I I realize, I look down the clock because it seems like it's been a while after we close, and it is 10:30 p.m. And I can tell that everybody else kind of like is used to this. So I ask them like, "Hey, what's up?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, we always stay late like this. It's because this was my first late shift, and that was what I was going to be doing for the rest of the time." So I'm like, "Well, this is really weird. Why don't you guys just leave?" Well, like basically, what the manager does is he threatens to cut your pay, cut your hours, or just straight up fire you if you leave um, before he says you're technically allowed to leave. So I would stay there for a couple days up to 12 p.m. Now, that was ridiculous. I was not happy. I know everybody else wasn't happy. So the time goes on. I'm pretty much friends with all of the, just employees, are the little minions like me, and our terrible slave driver, our manager, is just sitting in his office just waiting for us to finish cleaning up. And it got to the point where everybody was starting to get really fed up with it. I was extremely fed up with it. I've even talked with other friends that work in retail, and retail just doesn't seem like a very good place. I can understand if you need money, but it comes to a point where you have to be in a place where you feel comfortable, where you're happy working, than like feel like you're just being pushed around everywhere. So I do this, and one of the employees comes up to the manager. We're all just like basically finishing up. It's around 11:30 at night. It's actually almost reaching midnight. I have to get up early for class tomorrow at like 7 a.m. I don't have time for this. He goes up to manager. He's like, "Hey, I'm leaving. I gotta do shit. I have shit to do. I can't deal with this right now." And manager's like, "Well, if you walk out those doors, you're not coming back. You're not welcome back." And the guy basically tells him, manager, go screw himself. He's done with this. He's gone. I haven't seen the guy since. After that, I realized that we started. I mean, I wasn't like an old employee at any aspect, but I realized that we're just starting to like really burn through employees, and they're like, "Yeah, this happens all the time. Most retail places just you as an employer are just an expendable asset. Pretty much, once they get tired of you, they'll just let you go or fire you or whatever they want to call it, and you will just be thrown to the side, and they'll just hire somebody else because they're always young kids, always looking for a job. They want the discount at paying. That's just one thing I can name off the top of my head. Forever 21. Hot Topic. Whatever places like that. They just want discounts, and that wasn't it for me. I just want to make money, get good work experience, but this was getting really ridiculous. So it came to a point I was fed up with it. So basically, what happened to the point where I ended up getting fed up with it was manager tells me to go put this stuff up on this one shelf, all of this stuff. It took me 3.5, almost 4 hours to do it. It almost took me half of my shift to do it. I finished that. Little bit of time passes, you know, about 2 hours or so. I take my lunch, which apparently was also like we couldn't really take our lunch, which was kind of stupid. By law, where I live, we're I'm not gonna get into too much detail because it does vary, but after a certain amount of hours or during your shift, you are supposed to take an hour lunch. So an hour paid lunch too. So I was like, okay, I gotta take lunch. You know, I argue with the manager. I'm like, hey, I'm done. I have to take a lunch. I haven't eaten all day. And I win, and he begrudgingly lets me go to lunch. So I go to lunch. I come back. It's around 8 o'clock, an hour to closing. I get in. He meets me at the door. He's like, hey, I did not tell you to put those there. These were just boxes. It was a lot of boxes. And I'm like, yes, you specifically told me to put these there. And I get in an argument with him. Day ends. He's not happy with me. I'm definitely not happy with him. I've had enough of him and retail in general. And I just leave. I'm just like, okay, whatever, bye. And pretty much ever since then, I just really just didn't step foot back in there. I never put in any formal I'm leaving. I just stopped showing up. I just blocked his number. I just said, okay, whatever, I am done with this. I don't need you anymore. And I know I could have handled it much better, but I was, you know, only in like 10th grade of high school, and you know, when a high school kid gets fed up with something, the main inclination is to just say screw it and just not even bother about it. But I should have just said, hey, I am quitting. I hope y'all like this video. I've been holding in coughing this whole video, so sorry if you could tell that. I have another story. I have more work stories for my second former job, and I've pretty much run out of gameplay. I do play games a lot, but I've just run out of gameplay. And if you have any gameplay or know any friends that have any gameplay, just leave it in the comment. I'll get back to you, and I'll give you like a mini shout out. Sorry, that's my phone, but I'll give you a mini shout out, you know, stuff like that. I know it's not much, but I'll just feature your gameplay over my commentary. Alright, this is Poison Mary Pie Gaming, a very sick Poison Mary Pie Gaming, and I hope y'all have a good one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I am almighty. You cannot kill me.